Oh, oh, every time it's popping. Oh, oh, I got so much inflammation. Oh, 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 oh. Hey there. Oh, this is something else right now. I can my feet are inflamed, my knees are inflamed, my lower back is inflamed. Oh, that feels. Oh, oh, I'm good. I started off going to work. I ended up cleaning out a vehicle so I can take it to. I'm in the middle of moving. You can't tell it right now because I haven't touched anything in this room. But every other room in my house is actually pretty bare right now, as well as I've taken everything out of storage. Um, and I had to spend 4 hours today cleaning my new place because the cleaners who were supposed to show up did a piss poor job. So I spent 4 hours cleaning just so I could start moving my stuff in. I borrowed a truck from work. I had to take about 1.5 to 2,000 pounds of concrete blocks out of the back of this truck in order to use it, and then sweep. And these things are like 200 pounds each, and I'm doing it by myself. Oh, there we go. I've worked out most of the inflammation in my back now. I can feel the inflammation go. There we go. So much better now. I'm gonna do my quads really quick. Oh, and then I'll start my workout. Yeah, I'm excited for my new place. It's a lot bigger. It's looking like I'm gonna have a workout room now. It's got a fireplace, got a balcony. Oh, problem is I'm just running out of time. I've got oh I've got to get everything done by the end of the month, and plus clean this place up, spotless. And I was supposed to have help, and I found out that they can't. Like it's my help is now going to be camping, so I got to do it all by myself, and I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna move a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try to move as much as I can tomorrow morning, and then I'm hiring a moving company on the 31st to move the biggest stuff. Oh, yeah, but hey, I showed up. Oh, I'm here. I still got a little bit of a couple of days ago. I pulled my neck. It's like 85% better. I knew it would be. One more day, and I'll have forgotten it's actually got anything going on with it. All right, that was I needed that. Um, oh, I gotta roll my calves out. I feel inflammation in my calves. I'll do my calves, and then I'll do the balls of my feet, and then Like I just stood up and I could feel it. Ah, ah, ah. And I had was it yesterday I had a leg workout? I don't even remember. My days are all blending together. But I had a pretty good leg workout. And then the next day I gotta go move a whole bunch of stuff. Ah. All right. What do you do for work? Yeah, I had 150 pounds on my waist and I was doing pull-ups, and I could feel the moment I pulled my neck. But it's just a minor injury. It's not even an injury. It's just uh but yeah, these things are very effective for recuperating, right? Because right now I'm I'm wincing, I'm flushing inflammation on my legs, but very quickly it'll be gone, and then there won't be any more pain anymore. So already it's starting to get better. There we go. Yeah, I can feel it, right? There's a moment where suddenly the worst is past you. Yeah. So the last thing I'll do, crossball. Nothing is better for getting a foot massage. This thing is rock hard, has no give to it. No. Uh, I played plenty of lacrosse in my life, but this thing is the best massage tool you can ever get for your feet. I remember when I was dancing so much that I gave myself plantar fasciitis, and this saved my life. Like this thing here was the only reason I could walk. And you can put as much pressure on it as you want. And it's more pinpoint accuracy than the best foot massage you'll ever get. Oh. So if you're on your feet every day, I'd recommend getting one of these things. Oh, I'm already feeling a whole lot better. Well, I can do whatever I want to. I can play lacrosse, I can play football, I can play hockey. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm that much better than anyone else. Oh, a lot of things it takes time and energy, and it takes a lot of honing different crafts. And the things that I find more fun are what I'm going to spend my time on. There we go. Oh, thanks for the follow, Ale, Ala Matest. I was watching this professional bodybuilder on Twitch the other day. He did a set of over 100 bicep curls. About halfway through, he started losing his mind because the burn was getting to him. and you could watch it in real time. It was good stuff. I don't know what this song is, but I like it. It's got a lot of funk. I just realized I don't have any water, and I don't think I have any. I'm gonna fill this bad boy up. I'll be right back. Yeah, my water here doesn't taste that great, but the water at the place I'm moving to tastes really good. So I'm happy with that too. 1998. How's it going? See, Greg, Coach Greg is more correct than most people because what the science shows is that you get you get someone who they have a year to do a bodybuilding show, and and they want to build more muscle while showing up at below they want to show up at like 7% body fat or something like that. 7% body fat's a little high, but let's say they leading up to that, they don't right before they cut to 3%, they're 7% and healthy. Well, if you bulk and then cut, you will end up in the same space, the exact same spot as if you just slowly built up muscle while staying lean the whole time. But while you're bulking, you're going to build more muscle, but you're also going to lose some when you cut. And the amount that you're going to lose is about the same amount as the person, say, well, once you've trained enough that you're near your peak genetic potential, you're only going to be gaining 1 pound of lean muscle mass a year, and there's not really much you can do about that. But so you show up at 180 pounds, 7% body fat, and then a year later you bulk up to like 220 and you cut. You're going to end up at 181 at 7% body fat. Meanwhile, if you stay lean the whole time, stay at 7% body fat, you'll get to 181. That's my. Um, One sec. So building muscle, you need hypertrophy, and you need as much volume of hypertrophy that you can get. And building muscle, eats calories just like anything else. But for lean muscle mass, you need it's optimal to be in a 300 calorie a day surplus, but you can't even really measure 300 calories to the 300 calories accurately because it just the labels lie, and you got you weigh everything and then so you fix it as a slice. How thick is that slice compared to every other slice? But you want to build muscle, it comes down to training hard, getting near failure, getting hypertrophy, and then as much volume as you put in, you're going to get more growth. So the science says that if you want something to grow as efficient as possible, you have to train it 2 to 3 times a week. And whether it's 2 or whether it's 3, nobody really knows, because what it comes down to recovery. If you're training hard enough that you're only recovering enough to get it 2 times a week, you can build a lot of muscle that way, as opposed to training hard enough that you're recovering so you can do it 3 times a week. All right. Yeah, I don't think you answered where you worked, but thanks for dropping by. I've got a fatigued brain right now. I've been just going and going, and I can't believe how tired I am. But now on the next part. The next part is how to do it without getting fat. And how you build more muscle without getting fat is by doing it slower, staying in a smaller calorie surplus. If you're in too high of a calorie surplus, it's laws of thermodynamics, not like energy in, energy out, and any excess energy that comes in, if it doesn't go to your muscle demand, it gets stored in your fat cells. And so if you're in too much of a calorie surplus, you're going to be storing more calories, more energy in your fat cells. So you want to build muscle while staying lean. Don't dirty bulk. And if you are going to bulk, like people will say a pound a week. A pound a week is actually quite high. For most people, half a pound a week is more than enough. And even then, like the scale, you need some sort of measurement to track your progress. But the scale is not the best. Like there's issues with it where, like, your water mass throughout the day, your weight might fluctuate like 5-10 pounds. How much food you actually have in your belly. So if you are using a scale to measure your weight, what I'd recommend, weighing yourself the same time every day, and then every week do a weekly average, and see if that weekly average is going up or going down over time. See, what might be best for me might not be what's best for you. For myself, I like lifting heavy weights, and I like doing a mixture of strength training and bodybuilding. I don't like pure bodybuilding. I found a lot of pure bodybuilding it's not a functional sport. You focus more on presentation as opposed to function. When I was doing pure bodybuilding, I got so much bulk up here, I couldn't lift my hand over my head. I get to like here, and everything there's just too much bulk. As well as you get like you train your quads in absence of a lot of stabilizers or a lot of isolation, and then you go to do a sport or play some sports, and your quad gets used to training in isolation. Well, that's not how you move your body. That's not how you perform. Yeah. Okay. I want to do some triceps and other things. Oh. But Coach Greg, he can be hard to listen to, but he gives good information. Just like you don't have to suffer to be in a calorie deficit, and the easiest way to stick to reduce your calories while being satisfied is to eat more high filling, low calorie foods. Not your egg whites, not your vegetables. One thing though with Coach Greg's cookbook, it will give you a sweet tooth. Coach Greg himself likes his sweets. Like he likes things tasting sweet. And so if you start eating like him, you're going to like eating more sweet things. You're actually going to start craving more sweet things. But if you're fulfilling those urges with low calorie sweet things, then you can eat as much of those as you want in good faith, and you're never going to ruin your diet. I am neither. I am maintaining my weight. Uh, I am just trying to fill out my current weight as much as I can. So build a little bit more muscle, um, lose a little bit of fat if I can. But really, I'm just preparing myself for later this year. I want to do a heavy cut. I like right last time I measured my body fat percentage, I was at 11%. I'm probably still right around 11%. Um, I've gotten a lot stronger though, because I back in the second lockdown, I lost all my motivation. I stopped working out. I dropped 30 pounds, and it was just I stopped working out. I stopped eating, and then when I started again in January, I was like everything just felt right again. I'm still getting stronger every week, and it's not like huge gains. It's just a little bit here and there. Certain things just feel easier. Like one arm pull-ups now, I can do one arm pull-ups like any time I want. I got my COVID shot 2 weeks ago, and I dropped 4 to 5 pounds right away. Like right after my COVID shot for about a week, I just didn't have a very big. I lost my appetite. Lost my appetite. I forced myself to eat because I knew I got to eat. And whenever food was always going down really easy. I just had no desire for it when it wasn't right in front of my face. Hey there. I'll assume you mean we. Oh, yeah, that's something you'll never see me do on. You'll never get me to do on stream. Oh, I'll just assume I'm missing something. Um, I've been going all day, nonstop, and my brain is up in the clouds right now. I spent like 4 to 5 hours cleaning. I spent a bunch of hours um, moving boxes, putting things in boxes, and I spent a good hour and a half cleaning out a truck so I could use it to bring. Like I got a work vehicle. There was 1.5 to 2,000 pounds of concrete blocks in the back of this truck, and they each weigh about 200 pounds. And so I had to move these all by hand, off the truck, off the tailgate, put them all in a pile. Oh, I got home. I ate a bunch of fruit, and then came here. Oh, oh. I can still feel some tightness in my neck, but most of it's gone. The other day I pulled my neck doing a 150-pound weighted pull-up. I remember I did the first one, came down, went to go do the second one, and I was like, oh, yeah. All right, so I'll do one more set of these dips. I'll go back to my dumbbells. Then I'm going to start using my fat grips. Oh. Howdy, how's it going? Where'd my strap go? I feel like I should warm up my shoulders. Oh. I'm starting to feel a little bit more inflammation coming in my back. When I first started the stream, I went on my foam roller for a couple of minutes because I had inflammation in my lower back, in my calves, around my knees, and in my feet, and so I flushed it all out. But I have a little bit of inflammation creeping back in my lower back. Oh. All right, let's get out the factors. Yeah, probably the last thing I will bring out of my place is my weights. So today I'm going to do an arm day. I'll do another. So today's Thursday. I gotta remember what day of the week it is. So tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, tomorrow I'll probably do chest. That way, I can move my bench press and a lot of my chest exercises out to the new place. And then Saturday, I might do a leg day. So I can bring the rest of my weights. So that Sunday, I can do pull-ups. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll do chest tomorrow, legs, and then back. And that should be and then Monday is when my internet switches from this place to the other place. And then, yeah, I'm in the middle of moving. And then I went to work this morning. I got off work at 1 p.m. And then I just started moving things from 1 until 6. And then 1 till 5. Then 5 till almost 10, I was cleaning. And then I got home. I had a bunch of fruit. And then I came here. Oh. See, hugs I can get down with. I got, I'm good at those. It's a bonus if it's cold outside because I'm a natural heat box. But yeah, I got a balcony. I got a fireplace. I'm gonna have a workout room. My hands right now are just nasty. I've been having my hands in dirt all day, and they just feel bad. It's like I don't really want to touch anything. When I was a kid, I used to get really bad eczema on my hands, and if my hands ever got wet, I'd spend the day just with my hands like this, just not touching anything. Just I couldn't touch it. I couldn't touch themselves. I can't touch any clothing. Very aggravating. Well, the one good thing about the cold is you can always add on more clothing if you're cold. I used to run to the gym in the winter, and my thinking was is I'm going to burn more calories in the winter because my body is going to have to just burn more to survive. Ugh. Yeah, pretty much everything I know about Wisconsin is from the 70s, or rather based around the 70s from that 70s show. I got blues music playing all of a sudden. I'm listening to somebody else's random playlist. It's got like 500 songs in it. A couple songs ago, there was a lot of funk. This one's got just blues. I think it's by BB King. I wish my mother was the mother from that 70s show. Kitty is, I was going to say one cool cat, but that's corny even for me. Chip Monkey. Well, that's going good. I'm actually quite tired, but I'm here. I showed up I'm in need of a shower. Uh-oh. I just saw a pin on the floor, and I just kicked it somewhere. Why is there a pin on my floor? Maybe I'm imagining things. All right, so if you see me suddenly start to hop around, it's because I stepped on a pin on the floor. All right, next set. Been on my feet all day. My feet don't hurt anymore. I went on the foam roller. I went on the lacrosse ball. Right now, I just got a little bit of inflammation in my lower back. Uh, I don't know. I don't even remember what I danced to a minute ago. I'm just doing whatever I feel the music tells me to. It's getting hot in here. Let's put on some heat. Let's put on a fan. That's what I want is heat. Come on, turn on, Tad. There we go. Oh. The song's up. Oh, what's this? Something that's like classical music. Got the. I'm not cutting my throat. I'm doing the violin. And then suddenly it's what's this song called? It started with the violin. It's called Open by Rye. This song sounds like one of those songs where you get a woman in front of a microphone on a stage singing softly to the crowd. This is more like a swing song. All right. Let's grab these here. Yeah, I'm having a difficult time too because we're in full lockdown. And even when the gyms were open, I wasn't necessarily going to the gym a lot. Like I went to the gym I waited like a month and a half, 2 months until I started going back to the gym. But when I did, I just went back very sporadically, but I felt safe the whole time. And now that the option's off the table, it's hit me quite hard. But the challenge is just to show up every day, right? Don't not try not to make excuses. Try not to feel. I'm trying not to feel sorry for myself. I'm trying to just okay, like regular schedule. What I it's 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Okay, it's time to work out. Got to do it before bed. Hey there, try harder, please. Well, believe it or not, I'm trying as hard as I can right now. I haven't had any time to just sit down and relax today. And I feel my brain feels like it's in the clouds right now. Not get an ad. What a way to kill my groove. Oh. Yeah. Well, when lockdown first hit, I brought my workouts outside. So the gyms were shut down, but it was perfect weather. I went and I was working out outside every day, and I just mixed it up. I tried to challenge myself. One thing I did is I'm like, oh, I wonder how far can I do lunges? So over about a month period, I trained myself to do 1.5 kilometers of lunges, just with 40 pounds on my waist. So doing 40 pounds on my waist, doing 1 kilometer lunge and back. just like something to do. But mostly it was like trying to learn new calisthenic techniques, and even just bringing my weights outside, doing deadlifts outside. Um, but then gyms opened up again, and I was I had all these goals. I was deadlifting 575 pounds last October, and my goal was to hit 600. So I had all these plans. I was all set to do it, and then lockdown hit the second time, and I just crashed. And that's the first time since I started working out that I stopped working out on my own volition. The first time I ever stopped working out was because I caught Lyme disease, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I wasn't healthy. And the second time was because I herniated my disc and I tore my glute. No, that's not true. The second time was because I got nose surgery and I fixed my nose. I had my nose busted up when I was a kid. I couldn't breathe through it for like decades. Got my nose fixed, and I didn't heal very good. Um, and I had like blood pouring directly down my throat into my stomach, and it was just made me miserable. Um, and then the third time was when I hurt my disc. Fourth time I ever stopped working out was entirely just because I didn't have motivation, and that one bothered me. That one there, I didn't feel like myself. Oh. Well, hopefully when you say your weight skyrocketed, hopefully that was in a good way, right? Like for me, the times where I have been the absolute fittest in my life was actually when I was the most miserable. When I had the most stress is when I turned all that stress into workout fuel. I remember I was in the middle of this relationship where like the woman just like had me all over the place. I didn't know what was what, but I had amazing workouts. So like I would go to the gym and I would attack. Like and every day I was just attacking. That was my therapy. Um, and sometimes you got to be a little bit nuts to really be that driven. Like I remember 3 years eating 5 to 6,000 calories a day. I got huge, and I was doing tons of activity, but still, 5,000 calories a day. That's like that's just hard to down. Like in meat, vegetables, and rice, that is super hard to eat. It's you learn every trick in the book just to get the food down, and there's nothing more miserable than eating at midnight, going to bed full, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, still full, just to eat some more before you go back to bed, and then wake up, do your cardio, and then eat again. Right? Like that was rough, and it takes a special kind of person and a special kind of place to be able to do that. And uh, well, good job. Keep up the good work. It comes down to consistency. Whatever lifestyle you're living now with diet and activity is going to dictate the body that you end up with. Whereas if you work out in the short term, you're going to get short term results. but you're going to end up how you're living in the long term. Oh, I feel like I'm having a dry sweat right now. It's, I don't know if I have any more to sweat out. Got my weights around my feet here. It's been a while since I felt the dry sweat. Normally, the only time I feel dry sweat is if I start working out on no sleep. Like if I pull an all-nighter and then start to work out, which I actually haven't done in a long time. I'm just very fatigued. But I gotta thank everybody who comes out and joins me on my workouts. Those who come back time again. You guys make all my workouts that much better. Otherwise, I'm just, I can find my workouts, if I let myself get stuck in my head, I could work out for an hour or two, not say a single word. All my thoughts go, like, everything becomes inside me. But, and that's perfectly fine sometimes. Like, I still have those workouts where it's like, okay, I get home, I don't have the mental energy to really put myself out there that day, but I'll just pump out a quick hour workout and then move on with my day. But too many of those days, and I start to go stir crazy. Yeah, the big thing I'm wondering about is I have a room that I'm planning to go work out in. It's not as big as this room, but I should have more space. I just want to be able to deadlift and have the camera set up so that you can see the weight and you can see my head. If I can get that, then I'll be happy with what I got. Oh, this song has the xylophone. Do do. And like every time the xylophone hits, that's accentuation on something. Ooh. Yeah, that can't be good for your that can't be good for your long-term health. You need breaks sometimes, I bet. Oh, I can feel my face is just heating up. Like my head is so hot. What a day. Ooh, I'm getting like hot flashes. It's like, all right, I'm gonna do one more set of biceps, and then I feel like doing dips. Oh, I cannot wait to go social dancing again. And what's funny is I've polished my own dance moves more on stream than I ever have on like with partner dancing. Because with partner dancing, I will have ideas and I will see things that I will try to emulate, but often I'll have very little feedback on how I actually look. I can see how my partner's looking. I can get the response from my partner. I can make my partner look great, but sometimes I might just be like a dancing monkey. Just in my mind, I'm all suave and real rowdy. I'm just like I'm like, but there's occasional thing like there's things I've done before where I've done them on stream and I don't like the way they look. So I'll. But probably the biggest thing is arms, right? Never know what to do with my arms, and I don't want to look all lanky sometimes. But another funny thing to think about is I've changed my body so much over the years from being like 30, 40, even 50 pounds heavier than I am now. That if I change my body dynamics by 25 pounds, like that changes everything. Changes how I look when I lift my arms over my head, right? That changes. All right, so I'm gonna do one more set of the curls with the back grips. Then I'm going to do the grips, like the wrists. Then I'm going to do dips. That's the plan. Thank you. I have been doing this long enough that I understand what it takes to have, and I've, if I want to, I am perfectly confident I can change what I look like in a relatively short period of time. It's just some things are harder than others. And I'm not getting any younger. All right. Oh, I'm gonna put those on my toes. All right. Get my dips out. Just hanging out. This is looks all casual. Just slumped up. Yep. Look at me. I'm cool. I can see the. Oh, it goes. No, this way. Yep. I'm in my 30s too. In a month and a half, I will be 34. I was at my fittest at 28, but I also destroyed my body in a lot of ways. And it wasn't even from the, I cut myself. It wasn't even from the workouts. It was from all my extracurricular activities. So all the partner dancing I did, like tore down my knees. Like all the sports I did, just tore me down more than lifting weights ever did. All right. So let's get this out of the way. This thing's in my way. I'll be using you shortly. For now, I just want to get this. Bring out my frame. uh, I enjoy being surprised by music. There's certain songs where they mean something to you, or other songs where the more you learn them, the more you hear them, the more you appreciate, or other places, or there's other places where the song is able to take you. But I enjoy my live music with improv. I enjoy listening to songs that I don't know very well, and just letting the music take me wherever it may. Oh, no. Anything on the NES pretty much is guaranteed to have amazing soundtracks. There's one game for the Game Boy called Imagination, also Golden Sun. So two games, Imagination and Golden Sun, both for the Game Boy, where I would play those games all day, hour after hour after hour, and when I turned off the game, I could still hear the music. So like the music would, like the game would stop, music would end, but I would still hear it for hours afterwards. And there's another game where whenever I hear the Spice Girls, it brings me back to the time where I was when the Spice Girls were very popular. At the time, I never listened to the Spice Girls, but I grew up in a house with women, and my sister would have the song playing in the next room really loudly. So I was playing my video game, and over this time period, I was playing the same video game. I put hundreds of hours in it, but the whole time I was doing that, she was playing like these songs in repeat. And so whenever I hear those songs, it brings me back to where I was as a kid playing my video games. Playing like with my cat on my lap. Good times. Yeah. 1990, was probably my favorite year. Yeah, 1999 was probably my favorite year. You would like this song. This song is I See Fire by Clara Oakes. Has no. I wonder if I can turn it up. See if I can. Yeah, I have the music all the way up, and my computer automatically filters it out. So I'm gonna turn it down so I can hear myself think. Whoops. Undo whatever I did. Go back. Well, a lot of problems have always existed. People just didn't pay attention to them so much. Whereas, like, like I grew up essentially home alone, walking around with I essentially grew up doing allowed to do whatever I wanted to, and now they would like like the government we step in and essentially tell parents that they can't allow that anymore. I remember being in high school and the pencil sharpener was broken, so I was sharpening my pencil with my pocket knife in class. And I even lent the thing to my teacher so he could sharpen his. Different times back then. I used to know how to make whistles out of wood. I used to know how to whittle, and I could make whistles and some other things. I would not be able to make a whistle if you put a gun to my head. I do not remember how. And a little while ago, I was camping, and I like, hey, I have a knife. Let's try. I had nothing. I couldn't fit. I lost it all. It's been so long that I don't even have any instincts. It's almost like I've never done it before. The same with. I used to be a percussionist. I used to be able to play the piano. I can't do any of that anymore. But I actually understand music better now than when I was just when I was actually playing music. I was a human metronome. I could keep a beat, and I always knew where the beat was, and I still do. But I could keep a beat and then play around. Hey, Oni-chan, you saved my butt last time. You remember that? I appreciate that. I had no idea my stream was still running, and yeah, so that woman that I streamed was like clicking on my like, oh, what do you do? Clicks on my stream, probably just sees my face right up against the camera, just maybe looking at my nostrils or something. Yeah, you saved my butt. I appreciate that. It was only a matter of time until I started to getting disrobed to go shower, because that was my plan. Was just shower and go to bed. But that would have been bad. Oh, yeah. I was a little bit thrown off too with so the woman I rated was a pole dancer, and she's a professional pole dancer. A couple years ago, I was actually taking pole dancing, so I can do a bit on the pole. There's a lot of technique that goes into it. With people my weight, the heavier that you are, the more it hurts because you're using skin friction mostly to keep yourself up. And I can easily do the things where you just grab the bar and squeeze and go. Like I can do a human flag, no problem. But when it comes to like getting your skin on the bar, it like pulls and tears the heavier that you are. But I have a lot of respect for the craft of pole dancing, and so I just talked up this woman and like yeah she's great, she's a pole dancer, she's not what you typically expect, um, and she has really good advice when it comes to stretching this. And then so I rated her, and the first thing she said was, what did she say? She says, "Oh, thanks for the raid. What's my stream about? What do I do? Oh, I suck a lot of." And I was just like, "Oh, I can't believe she's like pen drop. Like I practically like dropped my water. I was just like, I can't believe she said that. I was I was a little bit butthurt about that. Yeah. If you wonder how people will spin on the pole itself actually spins. And one of the funnest things to do ever is to run up to the pole, do a human flag, and then spin around. Like a human flag is when you grab a pole this way, and then your feet go straight out this way, and your head's this way, and you're holding onto the bar like this. It's actually this hand is pushing, this hand is pulling. So it's almost like a one arm handstand while you're pulling, um, and it's just like you run, grab the bar, it's like whee, and then you just spin. Yeah, I remember doing that at a party once, and yeah, there was a point in time where um, we were having blues house parties every weekend. So you'd show up at somebody's house, and the dancing would go on until like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they started installing those stripper poles in the basements. And at the time, we had somebody visiting our city who was she taught the professional pole dancers in Vegas. So she was one of the best in the world, and she was having nonstop lessons all the time. And people were like, it was surreal, right? Where I'm just sitting there on the couch, and or like we're dancing. So I'm dancing with a woman here, and then right beside me there's a whole there's like three women in their underwear waiting to take turns on this pole. And so I'm dancing here, there. We're all doing our own thing. And one thing in those environments is there was like everybody who was there. There was so much trust between everybody. I've gone to parties where literally the party was just everybody's in their underwear. Okay, let's go. And it was all like pole dancing and then regular dancing. So you're just dancing blues where it's like chest to chest, and meanwhile you're not taking any more like you don't take liberties with that, right? So like even if you're still in your underwear, you're still respectful. The human flag, right? For core, there's two ways to do it. Either you grab the bar and then you jump and you jump and then you get your hips up past your chest line, right? So here you get your hips up here, and then you're almost more at a 45-degree angle. And when you're there, it doesn't take as much core. You sort of cheat the movement from the core so that you're already up, and then the gravity isn't forcing your core as much as it could. So you might not be perfectly horizontal. Whereas the other way, the more impressive way is you grab it from here and then you slowly lift yourself, like you actually lift yourself up with your core until you're there. That is hard on the core, and it doesn't really feel. It's not a gut buster exercise. Some exercises, if you're doing the windshield wipers, like hanging doing the windshield wipers, those feel like they bust your gut. When you're doing the human flag, and just to pick yourself up, it doesn't feel like a gut buster. It just feels like you need a lot of strength. You need core strength in order to actually pick yourself up that way. So the hardest part is you just have to be strong. And I remember training for that, and I buggered up my wrist training for the human flag because like the best way to train is to do handstand push-ups. You know what? I might be able to do the human flag at my new place. I have I bought this. You know what? No, it's not gonna work. I got a hopeful for no reason. So I can't do pull-ups on my doors at the new place. Ouch! I pinched my toe. So I bought this. But looking at this doesn't have the right grip. I need something that's circular, and it's better if it's a certain thickness. Um, Although, what'll happen is, like, actually what works the best is like stop signs. Something around the thickness of a stop sign works perfect for the human flag. Whereas I've also done it on trees. You just run up to a tree. As long as you can grab a branch, then you can push your other hand into the trunk. So you push one hand into the trunk. As long as you have a branch you can grab, you can do human flags off trees. But if you're holding with a flat palm on a trunk, you got to be careful not to rotate this way or rotate this way. So sometimes you might get up and you might start to like roll over. I'm already moving. I haven't moved anything from this room yet. I've spent 14 hours today doing moving stuff. So I had to empty a truck that had about 1,500 pounds of concrete slabs in the back of it. Each one weighs about 200 pounds. I'm grabbing these things, taking them off this truck, cleaned out the truck, started grabbing my stuff out of storage, grabbing stuff out of my bedroom, grabbing stuff out of other areas of my house, and I brought it to the new place, only to find out that the cleaners didn't do their job. So I had to spend 4 or 5 hours cleaning, and before I could move anything in, and it was just so I like 14 hours today. I've been on my feet nonstop, and I have to be all out. Like my internet is switching from this place to the new place on Monday, so Monday I won't be able to stream from home. Um, I have a movie company coming to help me just for my couch and for my bed and for my desk. Everything else I'm going to move myself. So what was I going to do? Yeah, so it's I have a fireplace, I have a balcony. I'm going to have a room just for workouts. If that doesn't work out, I'll have to like. I want to be able to set up my camera and have a room where you can see the weight on the floor and see my head. That way I can do deadlifts. Otherwise, maybe I can do 90% of my workouts in this room. And if I want to do deadlifts, maybe then I go to the living room where I get further away from the weight. How much do what weigh? I've this thing here. I've only got 10 pounds on it, and 10 pounds is a lot. 20 pounds is near my maximum. I got several dumbbells around my feet. I got 10, 20, 30. I got two 35-pound dumbbells, two 30-pound dumbbells, and two 10-pound dumbbells. Oh, those are my 10 pounds right now. Don't want to lift too heavy on my shoulders with the weights. If I want to go heavy on the shoulders, I prefer to use resistance bands because then I can control how heavy it's going to be. And really, it just gets a pain in the butt in order to keep switching the weights to find the exact one that I want to use. So yeah, so I just got two 10-pound dumbbells. And I'm almost doing rear delts right now as opposed to, say, like when you're coming up in front or when you're coming straight up. I'm actually leaning forward more so I can hit more rear delts. And then, like, I literally can't get past here without breaking my form. Your body doesn't know how much weight you're resisting, right? And it's also targeted. Like, that's this right here. And so I've actually got a really strong rear delt. This one's like hard as bone almost. When I, and you don't have to go really heavy if you had good form. What a lot of people do is they'll like you see how my elbows are coming up. This I've lost it. I'm not targeting anything anymore. All I'm doing is being hard on my shoulders. Right? Like even if you're doing flies, you don't have to go much higher than this. You don't have to like. And then because like there's inflection points in the joint. Like when you like so like if you're doing a push to like pushing up all of a sudden, the weight has it's like when you're lifting a weight, like you're doing like snatches, and you lift up and you got to flip to here. The joints roll, and that's not what you want to do. So like even this, just holding this amount of weight is hard to do. I got hair in my mouth. That's the worst. Nah, it's not that bad. There we go. And so, since it's a little bit lighter, I get more volume in. But I'm not really having a shoulder day today. I'll just throw in some arms. And honestly, when most people do arms, they lift heavier than they should, right? Like 25-pound dumbbells. If you're having proper form, 25-pound dumbbells are like, you can get really big before 25-pound dumbbells are too heavy or too light for you. Because like what people will have more weight, but they'll hip thrust, their arms will come in front of them, they'll break the exercise, and so they'll transfer what is carrying the load. As opposed to, you want to train your biceps, keep the load in your biceps. Like here, right? 25-pound dumbbells. Keep my arms. I can't, like, it's throwing me off when like just turning my head, the body wants to follow the head. So it's like a little bit awkward. It's best if you can look straight forward when you lift. Even at 25 pounds, most people will struggle around like before they get to like 10 each arm. Because like I'm feeling the burn already. It's not easy. As opposed to if I'm doing this, right? I could do 100 of this easy. Like I'm using momentum now, right? This is easy. I'm not struggling for this at all, right? Easy, hard. Yeah, so my advice to people who are starting out, lower the weight if anything, but focus on the individual exercises. Get as good at those exercises as you can while having proper form and while protecting the parts that need to be protected. A lot of things when you're starting out, you got to protect your shoulders. Like I've spent a lot of time to develop my shoulder muscles. So even though I don't consider myself that big right now, but the very small muscles that take long times to develop are already developed in my shoulders. So I'm a little bit more protected. And so I can do a lot of things, like if I'm doing my pullovers, right, I can grab the weight back here and stabilize and then pull, just like the one-arm pull-ups. The hardest part for most people is just engaging, right? Engaging at the beginning, protecting your shoulder, engaging. This is the hardest part, right? It's not the lifting. It's just going from like a dead hang to getting all the stabilizers involved. And diamond push-ups have their place. They're a great exercise, right? They're a good variation. And like with push-ups are great because you can change the variations to suit what you want to do, right? So if I just want to do my standard push-up, I should warm up my wrist first. I never warm up my wrist enough, and then I regret it after. So let me just spend a minute, not even. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to do a standard push-up, right? And then you can even get a little bit more full range of motion if you want. Full range of motion. Well, you can change little aspects. Like even here, I'm doing a standard push-up. I'll start to move my weight up. As I'm doing that, I'm taking the load more and more to my shoulders until you're doing more pressing type exercises. So you can do overhead presses without even doing like the handstand. Like you can do incline bench with your own body weight. And what you can do is you can, like if that's too hard, go on your knees, right? So I'm on my knees right now. I'm doing the same thing, but easier. I want to make it harder. I'll lift my butt up higher so there's more weight coming down that I'm resisting. And then you can do you can take the arms out in front of you. So right now I have the arms in front of me. You can go further. You can't see anything. And this ends up becomes, well, there you guys go. So you can turn this into quite a core workout, core stabilization when you're all the way up here. So that's not easy. And as you push, this might be too much for me. Like you have to stabilize all the way down to your tailbone, right? If your tailbone is like, if you have like lower back issues, this is your lower back is going to fail, and you're just not going to be able to push here. That was fun. Yeah, I didn't even do diamond push-ups, but they're all good. Calisthenics is a good way to develop your body. It comes down to, like, what matters though is your whole program, not necessarily what you do in one day, but what you do over a week, what you do over a month, what you do over a year. And people who religiously do calisthenics is great because you can start off at baby steps, you learn more moves, and you have goals that you can hit, right? I want to learn how to do this move. Well, the progression to do that move is going to get you stronger in various ways. You're going to have to get good at these other exercises first, which are going to build up the strength you need to do the harder exercise. And then you can always make the exercises harder on yourself. And it just comes down to, oftentimes you're having fun when you're doing it too. If you're having fun, you're going to push a little bit harder, right? You're going to be like, let's do this, let's go, let's do this. I'm ready, right? And you're ready, so you're actually going to go, right? Like you're just like skip. Okay, now go down, do my push-ups. Now what am I going to do? Now I'm going to do jumping jacks, or like it's that's part of the reason. Like that type of mentality is why CrossFit is so good at motivating people to just show up and really just push themselves. And so they're like, CrossFit unfortunately injures a lot of people, but at the same time, a lot of people build really amazing bodies through CrossFit. Yeah, that's like for me, the hardest part is showing up. And I've never had that problem before. Like I've been training 9 years. Like occasionally, right? Occasionally there's times you don't really want to show up, but I would do it anyways, right? That's just what I do. So I would just make myself. It's only very recently I've been having trouble showing up. And like you guys have actually been really helping me with that, right? Like you guys have been making all my workouts better, and then the more I'm here streaming, the more I actually don't need streaming to be motivated. So I can actually get home, pump out a quick workout, move on with my day. Because honestly, sometimes streaming is just the hardest part about streaming. Could be just takes a lot of mental energy sometimes, just putting yourself out there, and you don't have that in you every day. Or often what'll happen with me is I'll have the intention to stream for X amount of time, right? I will stream for an hour and a half today. Well, what happens? I will end up working out for 3 hours, maybe 4. And some days you just don't have time for that. Well, I'm cheering you on though. And if you're like you got to do what you can to sort of set the path in front of you to like make it as easy as possible on yourself, right? The harder you make it on yourself, like you're needlessly going to struggle. That's going to affect you one way or another. I did. I got my vaccine shot about 2 weeks ago. I dropped quite a bit of weight afterwards. I lost my appetite. I was forcing myself to eat, right? Like I would cook and I'd put the food in front of me and I look at the food right in front of me. I don't want it, but I would take my fork, I'd shovel it down. It would always go down. So I knew I was hungry. I just didn't want food. So I dropped 4 to 5 pounds after getting my vaccine shot. I actually had one side effect that I've never heard anyone else have. I got my vaccine shot. They make you sit around for like 15, 20 minutes afterwards to make sure nothing went wrong. And then afterwards, I got in my car, I left. I started driving to the bank. And at about an hour after I had my vaccine shot, suddenly I felt like I was having a heart attack. Like my chest was like tightening up, and I was having to. It wasn't hard to breathe, but I had to labor a bit. The actual Jimmy Neutron. I remember watching the Jimmy Neutron movie with my baby sister. That was my first time I ever heard Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, I am gonna have to wait probably 6 months to get my second vaccine shot. How they're doing it here is they're trying to roll everybody through before people start getting their second shot. So not optimal, but it's all I can do. So literally like 6 months until I get my next shot. And like before, you were commenting on how big I was, right? I'm actually the smallest that I've been in years. So like a lot of people look at what I have now. For me, it's hard not to look at what I've lost. And part of that is just I used to consistently lift heavy weights, like heavy weights. I love lifting heavy weights, and I would get tons of volume of heavy weights. Now I just don't have access, and mostly I don't have access to cables. And I love my cables. Like doing a pull down where I would do the pull down cables where I got like 300 something pounds on it, and I do a strict control, and I'd be doing sets of 10, and the weight it would be like 50 to 100 pounds heavier than I was. So when you're doing a pull down, you're pulling, but when you come up, you never actually fully disengage because that's bad for the shoulders. So come down, still have the shoulders in check. Well, to put the weight back, you got to get up here. But with that amount of weight on yourself, you are going to hurt yourself if you let your shoulders go slack. So what I do is I slip my legs out of the machine, and all of a sudden, because it weighs so much more than me, I'd shoot up, and so I'd be hanging in the air, holding on to this bar, and it was cracked me up every time. Yeah, and if I had a choice, I would be like all back, all legs. I'm actually a little bit self-conscious about my legs right now. They're they're actually pretty strong, but they're not shaped as how I would like them. I never fully got my shape back after I herniated my disc and I tore my glute. It was I only started getting strength back at the beginning of January 2020. Before January 2020, I like for almost 2 years, a year and a half, I could not train my legs. And then when I did train my legs, I couldn't do everything. I can only do very light certain things. But as soon as I started training my legs again, I was consistently like I was improving every day. Every day my legs were getting stronger. I went from not being able to lift like 50 pounds to lifting over 500 in like 2 months. That's how quickly. And it was just and what was holding me back was like I had a weak link, and so that weak link would break me every time. And as soon as that weak link started improving itself, it would start to catch up to everything else really quickly. Hey there, Riazal, Riazal. Is that Azali? I should know that. Riazali. Um, how I tore my glutes, you're gonna like this story. I tore my glute by getting up off the toilet. I herniated my disc in a swamp, and I had to crawl 15 kilometers out of this swamp, or I'd be done for. So I like traveled my way out 15 kilometers out of a swamp, and then I had to wait uh, like 14 hours for the plane. I got moved out of the place I was staying at. Had all my stuff at the airport. Plane didn't show up. It's like a 2-passenger plane, And then they got it here because the only way into this community is to fly, and the plane broke down. So I had to spend the rest of the day on this bench in pain before getting on this like 2-passenger plane that's bouncing the whole time. And so for like 5 hours was the most painful. Like I was whimpering and I was crying the whole time. And then the next day I was sitting on the toilet with my herniated disc. I tried to get up and I tore my glute. And so I got stuck in a half squatting, half standing position for hours. And I eventually got to my bed by scrunching my toes, and that was the most pain to date that I probably ever felt in one sitting. It was just there, and there's nothing I could do about it. It was just all pain. But I ended up making it to my phone, and then I managed to lay down with my phone on my chest, and I was thinking, if I cannot handle this pain anymore, I'm going to have to call the ambulance, and they're going to kick my door down. And because I didn't want them to kick my door down, I sucked it up. And like hour after hour, I just laid there in pain. Yeah, and the herniated disc was a workplace injury. And I also had hip bursitis, which affected me the longest. Like the thing that kept me out of work the longest was hip bursitis because I couldn't sit down without pain. It sounds like you have to spend more time on the recuperative sections of fitness, right? Do you happen to have a foam roller? A foam roller will help you find out where your problems are, and then as you regularly work them over time, like everything will just improve. I used to have really tight calves, and you roll out your calves, and it makes a big difference in your lifts later. One thing you can focus on is full range of motion. If you're focused more on just contracting, like say you just do the upper half of the bicep, right? That you might feel like you're going to tear something when you start doing full range of motion without any weight right afterwards. Well, guys, I don't know if I have any more lifting left in me. Yeah, you got one of these, huh? Foam roller is better. I don't typically stretch before workouts. Stretching before workouts can actually be detrimental to your workout. But what I will do is I will move and I'll warm up. Like I like warming up with lighter weights, and then I'll start increasing the weight until I get to my working set weight. But when you stretch, like I'll give you an example. For a squat, if you stretch your hamstrings and your glutes before you squat, it's going to lower the amount of weight that you can lift. And when you are squatting, you don't think, okay, now I'm going to activate the glutes, now I'm going to activate the hamstrings, now I'm going to activate this, I'm going to activate that. Your body just knows it as a squat, right? You send your hips back, go down, come back up, or even more, pick something up off the floor. Your body has the neurological pattern ingrained in you because you've done it so much. And that neurological pattern is based off of how your body is. It's based off of how tight your muscles typically are. It's based off of your own anatomy. It's based off your nervous system. Well, when you stretch, you're going to get a little bit more elasticity in your muscles afterwards, and it's going to throw off that neurological pattern of a squat that you have, right? So your body's going to know that, okay, this thing's this tight, so it's going to have this much stretch, and you're going to have this give compared to that. And it knows it without you even have to think it. Well, suddenly something is a little bit looser than it expects, and it becomes a different exercise. Yeah, if everything's done right, it'll take typically 4 years, but there's a lot of factors that go that are involved in there, as well as what you're trying to do. Like whether you're doing more bodybuilding, whether you're doing more strength training. But what you can expect is the first year, if you spend 1 year training hard, you're going to make a lot of gains. Every year after that, you're going to start to slow down until you're only going up at a very small amount of time, unless you really shake it up and you start unless you actually haven't been training optimally and then you start training optimally, then you'll start seeing more rapid growth. All right. Crosbill, how's it going? How's that? Get the Gubster. Everybody's coming on right now, and I just sat down. This is actually like the first time I sat down all day. I'm in the middle of moving. I had to move 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of concrete blocks out of a truck so that I could use it to start throwing my own heavy stuff in, so that I could move it across a new place, carry it up. First, I had to carry everything down three sets of stairs, then up 3 sets of stairs, only to get to a place that is supposed to be clean. It wasn't clean. I had to spend 4 to 5 hours cleaning today. Oh, it feels good. I'm almost ready for bed, honestly. I gotta wake up early, do it again. I got the music stopped. Yeah, that's me showing off. Glad to hear it. It took you 4 years before you knew how to properly train and diet. Yeah, that happens, right? And one thing I'm happy about now is there's better advice out there than there was years ago when I first started training, right? Like there's still tons of crap you have to filter through. Anybody who gives you their 10-minute ab workout that's going to revolutionize your life, they are full of it and they aren't helping. But if you know where to look, the information's out there. You can join these, you can join some scientific journals and you can read through all the studies if you want to. I've read many scientific studies, and they all essentially point to the same thing. I don't sleep enough. At least recently, work has been kicking my butt. But I'll try to get the sleep I need. And if I don't, I'll take naps throughout the day when I can, right? So if I can, it's like, okay, I didn't get enough sleep. I'm going to cram in an hour today and midway through the day. Lowest lat insertions, NA. Well, my back is a lot thicker than you think. It's just my waist isn't so as thin as it used to be. Once I started deadlifting really heavy weight, the size of my waist actually increased. So the V taper actually got less, but that's not because my back got any thinner. It's my waist got thicker, and without the contrast, you just don't see it as much. I don't know if I'm on camera. Yeah, and what happened with me is I remember the time where I decided I wanted the V taper. I watched somebody else and I want what he wants. And I started training my back 3 times a week, training it hard. And it took me 3 months to get the V taper. So like 3 months to get a really good V taper. Noah Scott McDaniel 16. I'm doing good. It's more or less the end of my workout. I'm gonna do a couple more stuff just because I'm here, and I don't wanna leave just yet. How are you doing tonight? I don't speak anything but English, but Pero Pardon Dong Junga Flanders. That's my pronunciation of that, but I actually don't know what that means. Nemesis. The original tank. All right. Oh, tick it win. Good to see some new people in the chat. I started streaming back in January at a time when I was losing motivation under lockdown, and I never expected to enjoy streaming as much as I have. But like it's really made the difference for me. Kept me getting me back on the straight and narrow. A lot of my streams just become people asking me whatever advice they have or that they're looking for, and my advice is free. It doesn't necessarily have to be about fitness. I just might not be as knowledgeable in some other aspects. My routine right now is a little bit up in the air. I've got quite busy with work. A couple months ago, we two of our workers moved on, and I've been picking up the slack. So it comes down like, what do I feel that day? I wanna train my legs once every like 4 days if I can. If I could, I'd do push pull back break push pull back, but I don't have access to a lot of my regular training styles without the gym. I don't have access to cables. I don't have access to really heavy weights. I do have some free weights here. I got a squat rack now. I like doing pull-ups at least once a week. Every so often, I'll test how much weight I can add to my waist and still do a pull-up. Earlier this week, I had 150 pounds my waist, and I was doing pull-ups. I failed at 175, so I went down to 150. Then I started doing drop sets with 100 pounds my waist, do 5 pull-ups, take it off, go down to 50, do 5 pull-ups, then just go body weight and just go ham until I can't go anymore. I've been working out for 9 years. My legs are where I'm a little bit lacking right now. I've got strength in my legs, but I haven't been able to shape them how they have been in the past. I was coming off a herniated disc and a torn glute in 2018, and I couldn't train legs until 2020. And then I started training legs really religiously once I started once my injury was gone. But then lockdown hit and all that. I'm 11% body fat. Last time I checked, I'm probably heavier than you would guess. And for myself, I just want to feel like I can do whatever I want. I want to feel like I can run through a wall. You look. It sort of cuts off the last of the moat. Oh yeah, I am rarely on Discord. I made it for one specific game. Okay. I'm turning my music back on, but I may not have time tonight. But tomorrow I should be able to find time. All right, let's do some more dips. Suddenly I've got a lot of viewers. Makes me wanna show off some things. I've run out of water too. Toy Soldier Ken, I am turning 34 in a month and a half. Here, I got so much stuff around my feet. I'm gonna make some room to just play around with a couple things. Often a really small waist has more to do with genetics than anything else. One thing I'd recommend is if you want, like, you should spend time letting your body understand that it doesn't just have to push out all the time, but you actually suck in. Not enough people work on getting the vacuum, myself included. I haven't worked on the vacuum in years, and I used to have a really good vacuum. Now I'm just so used to pushing out that actually sucking in, the muscles forget that they can do that. And like if you go ham on your obliques, like if you really train them, like you can grow any muscle. Any muscle can grow bigger. And if you train something more than others, they're going to get the corresponding results. Yeah. Like you get people that get, what is that called? The rope, right? You do the vacuum, and I don't even know if I can do that. You do a vacuum, and then you push out, and you get like a string right in the middle. Yeah, I'm out of practice with the vacuum. All right, let's do some handstands. Oh, nice, yeah. I just realized I probably shouldn't be doing those right now. I pulled my neck the other day, and I didn't feel anything, but if I seized up, that could have been not great. Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider it an injury. It's just I had 150 pounds in my waist doing pull-ups, and I squeezed a little bit too hard with my neck muscles, okay, this is a 3 day thing. Let's go back a bit. Is that Mr. Vanda? How's it going, Mr. Vanda? I'm definitely feeling old today. But I'm still here. Mostly just feels like my brain is in a fog because I haven't stopped since first thing in the morning, and I haven't been off my feet. Before I started my workout, like my first couple minutes on stream, I just went on the foam roller, flushing out inflammation. Did I say it was did I say it was a 24-hour thing? Yeah. No. What happened is so immediately while my neck was still warm, I could still feel like still moving fine. When I woke up the next morning, my neck was tight and protecting itself. So it wasn't like I just had no movement, and that's because it was just tight. It was like protect me for a little bit, and then I'll move. And then I knew it was going to move on with this day. And then the next day after that, I was starting to forget about it, and then I started doing some silly things like yeah, this one here, my right hip flexor is tight, and so this is what's keeping me back right here. Once this hip flexor starts to loosen up, I'll be right there. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to catch you. It's probably like really late for you, huh? You're always uh, you're always on at like 5 in the morning. All right. All right. But I'm gonna be calling it here in a minute. I'll see if there's so I don't know anybody on. Oh, I got a whisper. All right. I'll read that later. I'll see who's looking like they're putting in some good work. Well, never mind. I got some good music right now. Let's uh let's dance instead. I miss partner dancing. I got distracted by this thing on the floor. I thought I was going to step on it. All right. Song's over. Yeah. I have all the good games for the Wii U. Including all the Virtual Console. Once the Wii U came out, I stopped having as much free times for video games anymore. So for the GameCube, I've got like 100 games. I've beaten them all. Whereas like for the Wii, a lot of the games beat them all. But for the Wii U, it's just I stopped having all the time in the world to do whatever I wanted. All right. I got every Resident Evil game for every system. I enjoy those. But I agree with you. I'm going to turn my music back off, and I'm going to find somebody to share the love with. Send you their way. All right. I don't have anybody. I don't know anybody that's on right now. But this person looks like they're putting in some good work. I think this might be Pilates. But let's stumped a lot. You caught me just as I was closing up for the day. Do 5 push-ups? I can do 5 push-ups. I can't get a good angle. Let's come down a bit. Feels weird doing these without sound, without my music playing. Yeah, that was 3. The last 2 I'll give you these two. Did that satisfy you? I'll do you one better. I'm going to move. I'm going to start unplugging things here. I will see if I can give you some one-arm pull-ups here. Before I go. Oh, I wish I had water though. Oh. Am I on screen? Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm moving, and at the new place, I will be able to do muscle ups because I have I don't have a door that I can do this on, but I have a rack that I bought. All right, so I gotta get my brain in this because how do I do this thing? Okay, so here. Oh, the door's in the way. That was rough. Let me think about what went wrong there. I didn't. Okay, I gotta get this shoulder to this hand. Huh? All right. Gotta visualize it. There we go. One arm pulse for you guys. I'm not doing sit-ups. I've done so many crunches in my life, I'm absolutely bored of them. I used to do 15 minutes of ab workout before, like crunches, heel touches, and different ab workouts before bed. And I did that every day for years, and I cannot stand it anymore. It's like when you have the same food every day and you get sick of it. Yeah. I gotta shave. I've been too busy. All right. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I'll start this now. Do my posing. I cracked myself up. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me on my journey to get stronger one day at a time. Thanks for the follow just a couple minutes ago. Both I got command lines, slumped a lot, and Yari art. So thank you, everybody, for coming by. Until next time. This is my last arm day at this place. Next time we'll have to be at my new place. I'm thinking about doing chest tomorrow, then legs, then I'll be moved. All right. Night, everybody.